Hanan Ashrawi told us about this little girl from Gaza who was recuperating from her physical injuries during the Israeli assault in Gaza. And so while she was in the hospital recuperating, finally she was able to speak. And the first question she asked the nurse is, how come my mother and father are not visiting me at the hospital? You know how sometimes children think. Little did this girl know that at that time, she didn't know that her mother, her father, her brothers, and sisters were all killed by an Israeli bomb. And so it's not a matter of choice whether we should get involved or we shouldn't get involved, because if we want to honor this girl, if we want to honor her deceased family, if we want to honor all the Palestinian people that have suffered and continue to suffer, we have no choice but to get involved in the political process. And when we're working together, we're united, we can make a difference, and someday we will change American foreign policy.
وبحكي للأسف لماهر لما حكى عن الطفلة اللي من غزة، هي اسمها هدى غالية، اللي مش رح تروح من بال ولا واحد فلسطيني. صحيح احنا حكينا عن هدى قبل سنين، بس للأسف مأساة هدى تكررت مرة ثانية مع أحمد دوابشة اللي لحد الآن بيعرفش إن أمه وأبوه ماتوا، وبسأل عنهم وبفكر إنهم هم بتعالجوا في مستشفى ثاني وراح يشوفهم في يوم من الأيام.
الشباب لم يكن همه أن يستقل أو يبيد أو يبيد، نستقي من الردى ولن نكون للعدا كالعبيد لا نريد.
The idea of the mission of the coalition is very simple. If we're going to accomplish.
The coalition is made out of almost 20 organizations, Palestinian American organization, all over the United States.
When we started a few years ago, the idea was a dream, and we faced every obstacle possible. However, we were able to move on.
We want to help our people back home in Palestine. What can we do as Palestinian Americans, as Palestinian American organizations, to help our brothers and sisters back home?
This is one of the most important countries that we need to intensify efforts. We need to double, triple, quadruple our efforts in this country to educate, inform. We have a very, very distinguished Palestinian American community in this country. The number almost 500,000. We have very talented, educated community in this country. Along with the Arab American community, along with the Muslim American community, we can make a difference. But first of all, we need to put our house in order.
This poem is called A Single Treasure. A single treasure, rooted deep in our soil, thin but sturdy as us, are the olive trees of Palestine. Nothing can bend them, break them, we believe, but some have tried. These trees are toughened by love and reflect our pride. They feel the hurt in our hearts, and it hurts them.
The second goal is community outreach. You know, we are proud to be Americans. We love this country. We love our fellow Americans, and it's important for us to do a better job in reaching out to our fellow Americans.
One of our goals was to engage our elected representatives in both Congress, the House and Senate, and the executive administrative in the White House in regards to our concerns about Palestine. Now, we have been doing that to a certain extent throughout the years, but more from an individual person or individual group level, or through Arab American organizations, and that's well and good, but we felt that a focused lobbying effort on behalf of Palestine from multiple organizations coordinated together, potentially representing hundreds of thousands of Palestinians, would be more of an effect.
As of August 2015, the World Bank estimates that only 7% of the materials needed for reconstruction have entered Gaza. By October 2015, only one fully destroyed home had been rebuilt. Severe water and electricity shortages compound the situation further, with some Palestinians in Gaza only having access to 8 hours of power a day. A recent United Nations report has reinforced earlier UN findings that if we continue on this path, Gaza may be uninhabitable by 2020. Secretary Kerry also convened an international donors conference in Cairo, which generated over $5 billion in pledges from 54 governments and institutions. The United States committed $414 million and has made good on 100% of this pledge, while the global figure for other donors is unfortunately only at about 35%.
Tonight, I am honored to introduce to you our keynote speaker. This phenomenal woman rose in the ranks of Fatah to become the first female governor of Ramallah and El Bira. Born in the village of Deir Dabwan, her journey did not come easily, as she selflessly waited 5 years after high school for her brothers to be released from the Israeli prison to complete her college, master, and doctorate degrees. She studied at Mina College in Egypt, and after 8.5 years of education, she received her doctorate degree in psychology and counseling. While in high school, she always volunteered at public organizations. Later, she held a senior position with Fatah, organization's security forces, and then served as the welfare minister's head secretary. She said she never applied for governor. Political work requires a given effort and mindset. She stated she belonged to the nation and its institutions, and because her commitment to the Palestinian people was evident. This was why President Abbas chose her to be the first woman governor, and the youngest one, I may add. Personally, I found her to be one of the smartest, kindest, and warmest people that I have met. She is definitely the definition of the people's governor. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the Palestinian governor of Ramallah and El Bira, Her Excellency, Governor Layla Ghannam.
ودائما لازم نحط المصطلحات في مكانها الصح، انه هذا مش صراع، وكمان هم بيحاولوا يعملوا منه انه صراع ديني، لا هذا احتلال، ولازم نقول انه احتلال، ولما نحكي عن غزة وعن حرب غزة لازم نقول انها مجزرة غزة، لانه مش حرب ومش جيشين ومش متكافئين. ولما الولايات المتحدة بتساعدنا شكرا لها كثير، هي بتساعد دولة فلسطين المحتلة، واحنا بنقدر كل المساعدات اللي في التعليم أو في الصحة أو في الأجهزة الأمنية، ولكن الأهم من كل المساعدات إن الولايات المتحدة تساعدنا على زوال الاحتلال اللي هو مشكلتنا الأولى والأخيرة، ونكون سعيدة شاكرين للولايات المتحدة.
The third goal, which is absolutely the most important goal of the coalition, and that is political advocacy. Advocacy should be a habit. Advocacy should be a continuous, consistent process. And so we will be working with various organizations like the Arab American Institute, the ABC, and others, so that we can organize and mobilize our community across the country to encourage them to register to vote, to volunteer in political campaigns, and to run for office and work within the two-party system.
Again, many organizations from the DC area and around the country have been great supporters of the coalition, both nationally and for the work they do in towns of Palestine. Projects we have supported and welcomed, such as El Bayara playgrounds, has been launched in many towns of Palestine.